Okay, now let's do this one. Let's do this example. Notice we have 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so let's see what happens with this one. And I'm just going to row reduce this, right? So this is already 0, so I'm going to make this into 1, right? So I'm just going to take 1/2 row 1, and that's going to give me 1, 3, 1/2, 1, and 5/2, and then 0, 0, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 2, 1, 5, and then I'm going to divide this one by 3, right? So I'm going to get 1, 3, 1/2, 1, 5/2, and then I'm going to get 0, 1, 1/3, 4/3, 1/3, and I'm going to get 0, 3, 1, 2, 5. And now I'm going to take -3 times row 2 plus row 3. So -3. Okay, and so what I'm going to end up with is, again, the first 2 rows are going to stay the same. So that's going to be 1, 3, 1/2, 1. Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do 2 of these because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do -3 times row 2 plus row 1 as well. So I'll get 1, 0, so -3. So -3 here is going to be -1, which is going to give me -1/2 here. -3 times this is going to give me -4, plus 1 is -3. And then -3 times this is going to give me -1, plus this, so 5/2, right? 5/2 is, what, 2.5, right? So 2.5 2.5 minus 1 is 1.5, so that would be 3/2. And then of course this is going to stay the same. And then down here, -3 times this is going to give me 0, so I'm going to get 0, 0. And then -3 times this is -1. -1 plus 1 is 0. And then I'm going to do -3 times this, which is -4, plus 2 is -2. And then -3 times this is -1, plus 5 is 4. What did I do here? Yeah, I multiplied this by 1/3, or 2. Now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get this to be 1, right? So here's the leading term. So I want that to be 1. So I'm going to divide by -1/2, or multiply by -1/2. R3. And so that's going to give me 1, 0, negative a half, negative 3, 3 halves, 0, 1, 1 third, 4 thirds, 1 third, and then I got 0, 0, 0, 1, negative 2. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 times row 3 plus row 1, and then I'm going to take negative 4 thirds row 3 plus row 2. So if I take 3, now notice how these zeros are going to leave these unchanged. So I can just actually write these in. 1, 0, negative 1 half. And these are going to stay the same too. So I can write these in. So this is just going to be 1, 0, 1, 1 third. And so what's going to happen here? Negative 3, or excuse me, positive 3 plus this is going to make this 0. So what I know is these two are going to become 0. You can tell. Negative 4 thirds R3, negative 4 thirds plus 4 thirds is 0. So this is going to become 0. And I have my 1. So this is going to be 0, 0, 0, 1. Now all I have to do is what's going to happen here? Well, if I take 3 times this, which is negative 6, negative 6 plus 3/5 is going to be what? 5 and 2/5. Negative 5 and 2/5. And then for this one, I'm going to take negative 4 thirds times this, which is going to be what? 8 thirds. 8 thirds plus a third is 9 thirds, which is 3. And of course, that's going to be negative 2. Okay, now, let me make sure I did this right. So 3, 6, so negative 6 and 3/5. Negative 6 and negative 6 plus 3/5 is going to be negative 5 and 2/5. Negative 5 and 2/5. something I messed up. Oh, hold on a second. I think I messed up here. 3 times row 2 is 1. Negative 3 times row 2, so negative 3 times row 2 is negative 1. 5 halves is 2 1/2, so that's 1 1/2. Oh, that's where I made a mistake. This should be 3 halves, not 3/5. I knew something wasn't right. So yeah, this should be 3 halves. And then this would be up. This would be oh, and it's negative. Oh, this is negative 3 halves. So so 3. So let's see here, let's make sure. Okay, so negative 3 times negative 3, so negative 3 times row 2, so negative 3 times row 2 is negative 1. Plus row 2 is 1/2. Right? Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Negative 3, that's negative 1, so that's going to be 1/2. And now here, 3 times row 3, which is negative 6, that's 5, that's 5, yeah, negative 6, so it's going to be negative, which is negative, hold on a second. And why is that? No, this is 3 halves, right. Yeah, that's right. That's 3 halves. And then, yeah, so this will become 4, I'm sorry, yeah. 4 1/2. And then, so that's actually 9 halves, negative 9 halves. Okay. And that's, okay, now that's correct. So, now, so this is our final matrix here. And so now what does this tell us? Well, we can actually write this in vector form. And we can parameterize this easily. By looking at the columns with the ones in it, we can see that we have a free variable here. So if we were to write this solution set using vector notation, we could see that this is going to be what? This is going to be the solution set of x, y, z, w, right? Or, now that we can actually do it this way too, using variables, let's do this. Let's use subscripts. We could easily use x1, x2, x3, and x4, right? Nothing wrong with using subscripts. And that's going to equal what? Well, if we look here, it's going to be negative 9/2, 3, 0, negative 2. Plus right? You can get that from these 1, 1, and 1, right? So we can see right away, right there. And then x3 is the free variable, and we can see that that's going to be what? Negative 1/2, 1/3, x3, like so. And such that x is a real number, x sub 3 is a real number. Okay, so having it in this reduced echelon form makes it easier to come up with our solution set written as in vector form. So we're going to do more of these. Okay? What else do I want to say about this example? Okay, so now, what I want to say here is echelon form isn't some kind of one best form of systems. You know, other forms such as the reduced echelon form have advantages and disadvantages. So instead of picturing linear systems and the associated matrices as things that we operate on, always directed towards the goal of echelon form, we can think of them as interrelated, where we can get one form, get from one to another by using these row operations. And that's where we're going to spend our time, the rest of our time developing this thought. Okay? So that's it. I'll see you next time.